Hi everyone, it's Art and Sharon from MV Grand Plan. Today is May the 8th. We think, okay. Anyhow, we know it's really blowing hard out here. We're in the middle of a nor'easter, and we are safely hunkered down here in Portsmouth, Virginia, right across the intercoastal waterway from Norfolk, and right across the waterway from the waterside Marina, which was the site of the AGLCA rendezvous this past week. But anyhow, we're here to share with you and all of our viewers what it has cost us so far to do the loop for 35 days. We've been very meticulous about keeping our records. Sharon is a bookkeeper, and she has done a very good job in creating a very good and very comprehensive Excel spreadsheet. And I'll show you a recap of all of this here from time to time as we talk about our expenditures. We've broken our expenditures down in a number of different ways so we can kind of analyze what we're doing. First of all, we've broken it down as a percentage of the expense total. We've broken it down as a daily expense average, and we've broken it down as a cost per mile average. So among the categories will be dockage, dining out, entertainment, fuel, groceries, ice, laundry, Wi-Fi, maintenance, repairs, tips, Uber and Lyft or bus or some type of mass transit, and then the totals. So we'll go over that with you here item by item. The first one is dockage, and you'll see it's $2,703.13. That needs some explanation, and we're happy to give it to you. We'll just tell you why. In the very beginning, when you leave Jacksonville, Florida, and you're heading north and you go through Georgia, you go through South Carolina, you go through a part of the Atlantic coast of the United States that has a very, very wide tidal swing overnight, sometimes 2 times in a 24-hour period. And there are very poor anchoring opportunities along the way that we have found that we felt safe enough to do that in, as well as the fact that we discovered by the time we got to Southport, North Carolina, that our windlass was not working correctly. It would go down, but it wouldn't come up, and we come to find out that motor was burnt up in one of the directions it would run in. So we had to buy a new one, and that'll be part of the repair and the maintenance you'll see here in a little while. But without a good windlass, I just don't want to throw an anchor out there and not be able to get it up, and so that's why. Okay. Any other reasons why?
Well, also, I'm working while on the loop. I'm a bookkeeper. He mentioned I'm a bookkeeper for a real estate developer, and I have to have a strong Wi-Fi signal.
Right.
And we have a Wi-Fi through T-Mobile that we pay for 100 gig a month for $50. But in order to use the Wi-Fi, I have to have a strong T-Mobile cell phone signal, and we have found that that's better. The signal is stronger when we are in larger metropolitan areas and a marina.
Yeah. So you have to understand, that's her salary is helping us do this loop, and we're trying to do it all on what she would do rather than dipping into our savings. I get a monthly check from Social Security and some other annuities that we have, but that's how we're financing our loop. The next category is dining out, and that's $744.48. That is 9.73% of our total expenditures. It is $21.27 is that a day? And it cost us 80 cents a mile for 926 miles that we've traveled so far. I'll also mention about that 926 miles. That if you plan on doing a 6,000 mile loop, which is about average, maybe 6,400, 6,500 is what people do on an average loop, we're almost 1/6 of the way around the loop already. So if you look at it as a perspective, just take these figures and multiply it times 6 times, and that might be the total cost of our loop. But we can't really look at it like that, because we intend on slowing down and enjoying some places that we're in.
And we have found out, going through this process, we have found out some areas that we need to work on.
Right. And we'll show you that, because this is why we do this. It helps us keep our costs in control, or target areas that we see we're spending too much in. The next category is entertainment. We have spent $93.14 on entertainment, and I can't remember what that was about.
That was the little golf, golf cart
we took
tour
a golf
in
cart tour in Beaufort,
and the Maritime Museum, and the Gator Grill,
in Georgetown. So
it's really not a lot.
It's really not a lot of entertainment expenses, but it ended up being 1.22% of the total amount of money we spent so far. We averaged. That cost was averaging $2.66 a day and 10 cents a mile. So
you can tell we eat out more than we do anything else.
Yeah. The next category is fuel. Fuel, we've only had to do it one time, refill one time, and then it was only 105 gallons. I was just kind of wanting to see what our fuel consumption was being, so I could really kind of zero in on what our cost might be. But that cost us $546.03. That was it was $5.15 a gallon there. That was in DeTal, Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
That's 1.22% of the total. It's 2.66 average daily, $2.66 a day, and 10 cents a mile.
And we have a trawler, and it sips fuel, so that helps
out.
We're
very fortunate there. We've spent a lot of money on groceries, $830.73.
We like to eat.
Yeah. That's for roughly 7 weeks, so $110, $120 a week or so, and we'd spend that at home. But that represents 10.86% of our total, $23.74 a day, or 90 cents a mile. I'm not really quite sure that's a good way to evaluate that, but
probably not.
It is for fuel, I guess. Yeah. We find we buy a lot of ice. Our trawler does not have an ice maker. We do not have a freezer on board. It's just actually it's an overgrown dormitory refrigerator, but it holds everything we need, and if we turn it down, it'll freeze everything in it. But ice, we've spent $76.67 so far on the loop. That's 1% of the total expenditures, and $2.19 daily.
That's about a bag a day, a 7-pound bag a day.
Yeah, a 7-pound bag of ice a day. Laundry, we've done laundry several different times. Most of the washers and dryers take $1.50 to wash and $1.50 to dry. So we've done that several times. It's $41.75, or 0.5% of our total expenditure.
I have found about the laundry, you cannot have enough quarters. At $3 a load, and a roll of quarters is $10. So you're going to go through a roll, once a week.
Yeah, pretty much every time you do laundry.
So I'm always scratching around looking for quarters.
Yeah, even one time she sent me to the bank. I had the opportunity to use the courtesy car of the Marina, and I went to the bank and bought 4 or 5 rolls of quarters, or exchanged that. Our MiFi usage, we pay for our MiFi Wi-Fi hotspot, and it's $50 a month. It gives us 100 gigs, and if we're careful, we can do everything we want to do with 100 gigs a month. It certainly takes care of all of her needs for her bookkeeping job. But we did go over this past month, and there again, we learned our lesson on that.
I think we determined on that we were streaming. using my Wi-Fi rather than the Marina Wi-Fi.
And some of our iPads and our phones will automatically connect to that MiFi unit if it sees it, and we don't even know we're on there. We think we're on the Marina Wi-Fi, and we're not. The next category is maintenance, and some of this needs to be explained. $115.45.
$50 of it was right there.
Okay, and $50 of it went for
The
repair of the
Bimini
Bimini. We took it down, and because we noticed there was a little small rip in it, and we didn't want it to become even larger.
It's been very windy.
Yeah, it's been very, very windy, and the guy did outstanding work. He was at Ladies Island Marina in Beaufort, South Carolina.
Yeah.
And he did outstanding work. I believe the name of that place is Journey Canvas.
It's on there.
Journey Marine Canvas.
Yeah.
And
It's
he's located at the marina there, at Ladies Island Marina there. So if you need canvas work done or need something repaired, stop in there and see Adam is his name. 1.51% of the total was for maintenance. And,
It was $19 on that. I guess it was just a brake core, maybe. Auto Parts of Beaufort. I think that was that a
that
brake
was
core?
that was for the temperature sender. Then repairs. Repairs has bit us really hard. Repairs were $1,970.16. That is the cost to replace the windlass. It was over $1,000. I had to go to Lowe's several different times while I had the use of my brother-in-law's truck while we were visiting in Southport, North Carolina, and went to Lowe's a few times to buy some extra electrical components and some wiring and some conduit and some things like that to properly repair that windlass with. And then we had an issue where we went to leave the Beaufort Marina.
Mm-hmm.
What was the name of that marina? What the hell is the marina? No, well, the Marina Beaufort. And one engine would not start. I had a bad battery, and it took a long time for I did the best I could to diagnose what the problem was, and had to bite the bullet and hire some labor to come in, and he did everything I did. But as a matter of fact, he even took the starter off and took it to the shop and had it bench tested. It came back fine. So it ended up being a bad battery. And I'll also tell you this, before we left on this trip, about 4 months before we left, I went out and hoping to avoid a problem like that became, and bought two brand new batteries. And one of them failed. It just failed. It would hold voltage, but it wouldn't hold amperage. And we had to replace that battery. And now I do not have battery faith, or I did not have battery faith at the time then, so I bought two new batteries again, and that was interstate batteries. The batteries were $450 or so, and the labor was $400 that I had to hire in to come and diagnose the same thing that I couldn't find. But anyhow, the total between the batteries and the windlass was a total of $1,970, and it adds up, and that was 25%, almost 26% of our total expenditure. Tips. Sharon and I believe in tipping to ensure proper service. We tip $5 to the dock hands that help us get our boat secured, to help us get it pumped out, whatever they do. If they make a good hearty effort at helping us out, we tip them correctly. We also tip 20% on most all of our restaurant bills, usually a little bit more.
And Uber.
And Uber. We tip those guys too. So here we go. Final totals, everyone. $7,651 is our grand total for 35 days, or 1/6 of the loop. That is $218.62 per day, or $8.26 a mile. So I hope you found this information a little little helpful if you're planning your loop. It may be way out of whack and on comparisons if you've done the loop and you're trying to compare what we spend to what you spend. But hopefully you'll find this information helpful. And I find it helpful because I can zero in on what
we can do better.
We can do better, okay? And we've agreed that we're going to do better by eating out half as much and eating in twice as much. And we're going to find ways to knock down this Marina Dockage.
2,000 of it was repairs.
Yeah, 2,000 of it was repairs.
You don't know.
You can't predict it, and hopefully that's the end of the big repairs. So anyhow, right now on the back deck of the boat, I have 10 gallons of Shell Rotella oil and a couple of oil filters that I'm waiting for my engines to hit the number of hours for. I've already bought all of that, so that'll be coming up in May. And you'll see those figures reflected.
But we've already
there.
paid for that.
Yeah, but we'll still put that as in, and that's when we actually use it and spend it. So, anyhow, I hope you're happy with these figures. We certainly know that we can improve on them. But we'll give you another report for our May expenditures. Until then, we'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye. Well, hi, Art. We'll just cut that part out.